Today, we will discover a philosophy hidden not in volumes of academic works, but within 4 simple lines. Our time is filled with endless noise, but true truths always whisper. Omar Khayyam, whose name has become synonymous with eternal wisdom, offers us a radical instruction for living. These are not merely poems, but psychological formulas tested by 1,000 years. We will dive into his secret, which allows us to grasp the essence of being before it melts away. The secret lies in the realization of our absolute freedom. Imagine that life is an arrow shot into the darkness, and you do not know where it will land. Most people waste their energy trying to change the trajectory of an arrow already in flight. Khayyam offers a completely different approach, what Malcolm Gladwell would call a tipping point. He calls us to focus on the single fleeting act of drawing the bowstring. The sage of the East understood that the only reality we can control is the absolute now. Therefore, we must discard the illusion of manipulating time.
Khayyam, like a prophet emerging from the desert, invites us to clear our vision of hollow promises. The poet's philosophy is a manifesto against dogmatism and the waste of mental energy. He was a master of existential minimalism, freeing the spirit from the heavy burden of the future. This is the first lesson that grants us true liberation from mental shackles. Only in inner silence can we hear the voice of our own soul. We live as if we have 1,000 years to spare, constantly postponing the most important conversations and decisions. Khayyam relentlessly reminds us, today will never return. Every second is an irrevocable loss that cannot be compensated. This truth may seem harsh, but it is the key to an intense, meaningful life. Do not let the belief in an infinite tomorrow steal your present. Seize this precious moment before it slips away like sand.
The poet decisively rejects passive submission to fate, demanding active participation in one's own narrative. He questions the very nature of causality, asserting that only we ourselves endow moments with meaning. Time is not an external force dragging us along, but the internal rhythm of our awareness. Therefore, stop waiting for the perfect moment. It has already arrived. Life unfolds only here and now. Therein lies its deepest mystery. We are taught to plan decades ahead, yet Khayyam looks upon this with a light, ironic smile. He understands that grand plans are often just a screen hiding our fear of the unknown. Life is too unpredictable to obey our blueprints. Real art lies in the ability to enjoy unexpected changes in course. It reminds us that happiness rarely arrives on schedule.
Now, let's turn to those 4 lines that became our inspiration. These are not the times to choose friends. It is safer to speak with people from a distance. Khayyam proposes psychological distance as a tool for survival. He recognizes that sincerity has become a rare commodity, and true trust a dangerous experiment. In a world of social complexity, it is better to observe than to rely.
For those who appreciate quality literature, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam is the essential classic for your shelf. This collection is perfect both for your personal library and as a valuable gift. Don't miss the opportunity. Order your edition now. The direct purchase link is located below the video.
Gladwell would explain that we are poor at detecting lies because our brains are wired for a truth default. Khayyam, as a wise observer, suggests replacing this presumption with a careful study of intentions. Look with a wise eye, even at the most faithful, and you will recognize the enemy within. This is not cynicism, but a profound understanding of human nature and its duality. It is a call for intellectual vigilance that protects your inner self. The distance the poet speaks of is not a physical escape, but a filter for information and emotions. True friends do not demand constant proximity, they respect your space. Khayyam teaches that self-sufficiency is the best armor against betrayal. When you do not depend on others' approval, you gain full control over your inner world. Close the circle of your inner sanctum to only those who bring light, not shadow.
Instead of collecting acquaintances, Khayyam encourages us to seek quality over quantity. He knew that one sincere friend is worth 1,000 compliments from hypocrites. A watchful eye allows one to see actions rather than promises, for actions are the true measure of human value. Discard those who drain your energy and keep those who replenish it. This is the ecology of the soul, which we must strictly observe daily. Khayyam often uses wine, but it rarely refers only to the drink. It is a philosophical symbol. Wine in his poetry is a metaphor for pure joy, the rejection of hypocrisy, and immersion in the truth of the moment. It symbolizes liberation from social norms and hypocritical constraints. This cup is a place where one can speak openly about doubts without fear of judgment. It is the key to the sincerity and simplicity the philosopher valued so highly.
The poet was a deep skeptic regarding promises of heavenly gardens and threats of hell. He urged us not to postpone happiness for an indefinite after. Why live in fear of the unknown when we have the amazing opportunity to live now? Khayyam argues that true wisdom lies in the realization of the inevitable end. This knowledge frees us to cherish every breath. In a world where religious and political dogmas try to control every step, joy becomes an act of resistance. Khayyam encourages enjoying earthly blessings, good company, music, simple conversation. These moments are not sin or levity, but a true acknowledgement of the gift of life. The capacity for simple, unblemished happiness is the pinnacle of philosophical understanding. It is our way of telling the universe that we are grateful for this brief visit.
Life, according to Khayyam, is like a garden that exists for only one season. We have only enough time to plant flowers, enjoy their fragrance, and accept their inevitable wilting. It is not worth wasting energy waiting for another, more perfect garden. Perfection is a myth, while beauty is a reality available to us every moment. Value what blooms right now, even if it is just wildflowers. We are but grains of sand on a cosmic scale, yet Khayyam endows this grain with boundless significance. Our consciousness is the temporary point where the universe realizes itself. The poet urges us not to try to grasp the infinite, but instead to deeply know our own finite experience. Our personal universe is the only one we can govern. Find your unique frequency and live in resonance with it.
Khayyam demonstrates profound intellectual courage by refusing to accept answers that do not satisfy his reason. He teaches us that it is better to admit, "I don't know," than to accept false certainty. This rejection of dogmatism is his most precious intellectual gift. Skepticism becomes not a weakness, but a powerful weapon against mental slavery. It opens the door to a constant, living search for truth. If we know that everything will end, then what is the point of striving? Khayyam answers, the meaning is in the journey itself, and in the absence of a need for a final reward. He turns the inevitable end into the strongest motivator for an intense life. The awareness of our transience makes every sunset incredibly precious. Do not fear the shadow, for it emphasizes the brightness of the light.
Most philosophies offer black or white, but Khayyam offers a third color, a rich burgundy, the color of his metaphorical wine. This color symbolizes the acceptance of complexity, joy, sadness, and the paradoxes of existence. Do not try to find simple solutions to complex problems. Live in harmony with this multifacetedness, and you will find true peace. Your life is a unique palette that cannot be replicated. To grasp Khayyam's secret, we must daily reevaluate our priorities. What is most important in this minute? The pursuit of recognition or the quiet enjoyment of tea? The poet calls us to choose depth over breadth. This requires giving up the constant external validation of our significance. True value lies in the inner satisfaction that no one can take away.
So, what is the great secret Omar Khayyam left us? It is not a mystical incantation, but a profound psychological truth.
The secret lies in the radical rejection of the fear of the end and a total concentration on the present. Live without the need to justify yourself to tomorrow or to the past. This is the only way to survive time, for a moment lived consciously becomes eternal. This is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. In this temporary world, the only absolute reality is love, in the broadest sense of the word. Khayyam understands love as the ability to feel connection, joy, and compassion. It is not just a romantic feeling, but a fundamental energy that gives meaning to our brief existence. Spread this energy without waiting for a response or reward. Love is your true, imperishable wealth.
To become a philosopher of the moment, one must learn to let go of illusions. Let go of resentment, for it only poisons your today. Let go of expectations, for they only lead to disappointment. Khayyam gives us a tool for emotional purity. Live as if this day is the only poem you are allowed to write. Us not to scatter our attention on futile arguments about the future or the unchangeable past. Concentrate your mind on the beauty surrounding you, the taste of bread, the warmth of the sun, the voice of a friend. This is true wealth that will never depreciate. By managing your attention, you manage your life.
We are left with his Rubaiyat as a source that constantly nourishes our spirit. Khayyam's wisdom does not age because it speaks of universal human truths. It resonates with our deep desire to find meaning amidst chaos. Take these 4 lines about caution and distance and apply them to your life today. They are your shield and your compass in a world full of contradictions. Do not put off life until tomorrow, for tomorrow is only a concept, not a guarantee. Feel the power of the moment, just as the great sage of the East urged us to feel the aroma of wine. Live boldly, wisely, and cautiously while maintaining inner joy. Remember that the secret does not need to be sought, it only needs to be captured in the present tense. Find your true enemy in your own indecision.
Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that you already have everything you need right now. Accept this truth and let it change your perspective on the world. Grasp this secret of Khayyam, which is the key to your absolute freedom. Let go of your fear and live according to the rhythm of your own soul. Our life is the best poem, and we are its only authors.